Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. I am super excited to do this Yes marathon. But I do have to say it feels kind of weird because I've never really maybe once or twice reacted to Yes without Alexia, because it is her, maybe I can't say favorite band, but it comes to 70s progressive rock, I would say Yes, that's her favorite act. So yeah, it's a little bit difficult to do this without her, but hey, we're gonna go ahead anyways, because she's out of town, and I'll play the songs anyways. I mean, yesterday I listened to not the entire album, but that is about 3 times, but just by myself. Like we did it together, we analyzed it, and then I was just like, I really need to check out what's going on here, like more deeply, and there's a lot going on. Really cool. So yeah, well, without further ado, let's get into the music. Again, I wanted to thank, of course, first of all, Patrick for sponsoring this marathon, and we're gonna do 2 songs. They're quite large, a little bit over the time that I aim to do, but hey, that's fine. Sometimes we can't just we can't just cut off right there in the middle. So we're gonna do from Keys of Ascension. We're gonna do Be the One, and that's the one, Humankind and Skates. So it's kind of like a trilogy, right? And then we're gonna do from Keys to Ascension number 2. We're gonna do Mind Drive, and that alone is like 18 minutes long. So it's gonna be quite a journey. So again, I wanted to thank Patrick for sending in this request. And yes, I'm sorry that Alexia's not part of it, but I even we usually say, hey, send us an email and then we can see if we can make the time. But even Patrick said, just do it by yourself. And so I appreciate that, even though, like I said, it's not the same without her. But I'll send her the songs and she'll listen to them. Okay, so without further ado, so this is Key to Ascension from 1996, and I was so surprised to hear this, the original lineup. And I know it's not the first lineup, but I think the most important one, I would say, to me, some prefer Bruford on the drums, some prefer Alan White. I think they're both amazing musicians. So but yeah, so let's go here with Be the One. And again, thank you so much for clicking on the video. I appreciate all your support, all of you prog fans, Yes fans, music fans, and NicknLex fans. Thank you so much. So here we go with the first track, and I hope you enjoy. Please comment below, like the video if you really do, and subscribe to the channel. It does help out. Every single subscription helps out. We just did 131,000. That's amazing. So I hope we can go further into that. So here we go with the first track. Let's check it out. Checking my volumes here. I don't want to go deaf. So here we go. All right, let's go. Oof.
Never underestimate the loving, how we intertwine our very soul, how we fill each other's spaces to lose control. When you're talking, be the children who stand on solid ground. Never underestimate the giving that will bring you round. I'll be there to bring you this love in the morning. I'll be there to bring you the stars at night. I'll be there just waiting to hear you singing. Never underestimate a giver. The gift of love will surely be when you're asking for the secret to set you free. When you're talking to the friendship, that love of higher self. This gift of love is the answer to all your doubts. Be the one giving into love. Never let the good in life desert you. Be the one giving into love. Never let the fools destroy your dreams. Be the one giving into love. I can dream myself every minute. So how did we become masters of imitation? I'll be there. I'll be there.
The volume is swell. Wow.
I'll be there to make it right for you. Giving into love, it's the balance of this everyday feeling. Giving into love,
very
underestimate the power. Never underestimate the power.
all right. Here we go. I mean, again, I really like this, style of Yes. I saw this comment the other day and I responded to it because it was like, oh, I've been a fan of Yes for 50 years and this, and he talked about the song That Is, and he said not one single hook, not one interesting, memorable line, like. And then he also said that he was like skipping through the song. I mean, how can you understand the song if you don't listen to it? I mean, what are you looking for? Specific like passages. How can you hear the passages if you're skipping through it? You're not even giving the music a chance. So I really want to give this music a chance because I really hear that these musicians are very, like, they're more mature. They're obviously better at their instruments just because of time and practice. Not particularly that they play better, but it's just like I love Steve Howe's guitar sound way, way more here. But it's also because it's a different technology in the 90s than in the 70s. So it just sounds, thicker and clearer. And, I just really enjoy that. But everybody is kind of like, adding to the song as best as they can, and it's still very progressive and there's a lot going on. It's kind of hard I don't have like photographic memory, when it comes to music. I think that I would have to like take notes or stop every 20 seconds to call out what is actually happening, because I do know what's happening musically, but I don't want to do that because there's a lot of channels who do that. And I don't know. I think I just want to enjoy the piece, and then I would have to listen to it again right now, maybe 4 times to really know what's actually going on when they're changing to, Humankind or Skates. But I love just what they're doing here individually. I think John Anderson is very, very spot on. His voice works really well, and there's some really beautiful, melodies and stops and, those typical progressive elements that we love when time signature changes, sudden sudden stops and sudden changes into different parts of the music. And that's what makes progressive music like the sudden, like, complete change of chord progressions. And I think they're really doing it well. I mean, yes, it's tough to compete with your super successful stuff, Roundabout and Changes, and I mean, those are, I guess, a little bit more, but Long Distance, Run Around, Starship Troopers. I mean, I could keep going here. Just Close to the Edge, I guess. It's always going to be hard to compete with your masterpieces, but I don't consider this like bad music. And I was a little saddened that someone who's a fan for over 50 years could just hack away on this band. And this stuff is already like almost 40 years ago, like this recording. Like, how could you not like this? This is like literally the band that you love or say you love just 20 years after their initial, music. So I think there were many great parts here. Like, I do have to listen to it again, but I think I reacted as good as I can with facial expressions. I don't want to overreact. That's just not the way that I roll. But there were like beautiful guitar ideas. Chris and John always kind of like nail it. They've always harmonized beautifully. The drumming, it's just like there's so much things happening. I loved Rick's like input. It wasn't really like too much, but it just the way he just creates the atmosphere is beautifully with his chords, and I think everybody was spot on. I think it's a very good song, and I'm going to listen to it again. And unfortunately, I can't pull up the lyrics on Spotify. I could have pulled them up, but the thing is also when you focus just on the lyrics, you kind of lose on a one time listen. If you just focus on the lyrics, you kind of lose all the music, So I think this was a great piece. I really, really enjoyed it. And we've listened to some Yes where we were like, this is complete shit, So this is not. We don't roll that like everything by Yes is amazing, but you do have to give credit where credit is due. I saw some people commenting on that is like it's my favorite epic piece by them, and we're not even talking about like stuff like Close to the Edge or Gates, so there's people that just love other stuff, so I think this was very, very good. And so Be the One, Humankind, Humankind and Skates, what did you think? And I hope you find something of worth here, because I think it was really, really good. It was really complete. It felt like a sometimes what I don't like about some progressive bands is like they try too hard to subvert your expectations or to be too surprising that it just becomes odd when it's just random ass. Like this felt like a piece that was thought of, it was put together, and yes, I read about it that it was a couple of ideas that all the band members had together and put them together, but they made it work. And I think just that deserves recognition, that they made it work and they made it into a piece that works and that is a complete song, almost 10 minutes of music, and it doesn't sound all like wacky and over. Like there is some bands, and I love really like extreme progressive rock and extreme progressive metal, but sometimes it's like almost like, wow, it's almost like they're trying too hard to be surprising, and then I don't really enjoy it. Like there has to be some sort of like logic to it, even though like there are no real rules, in progressive rock. I mean, there's no rules, because that's what it's all about, to surprise you, to be kind of like, to break those rules, to be a little bit more jazzy, and to insert classical passages where nobody would expect them and stuff like that, so I hope you can really like enjoy this when you listen to it by yourself, and so now we're gonna move it to 1997. Yeah, 1997, and we're gonna go, and this is the same concept. This is also a live album, but it does have some more studio recordings. I'm gonna start with the longest one, almost 20 minutes here. Mind Drive. Let's see if I get the lyrics. Yes, they're actually available. Wonderful. But again, I'm gonna try and read a little. I'm gonna try and like, I don't know. I really don't want to pause. Let's just listen to it and talk about it as much as I can at the end of 20 minutes of music. But basically my face, I could do this or that. I mean, when I'm surprised, then I act surprised, but I'm not going to fall out of my chair because I'm so surprised, So, like I've seen people do that. That's their style, the music is just so overwhelming to them. That happens, but that doesn't happen to me. Mind Drive here, from Keys to Ascension. I'm going to pull up the Wikipedia here. So we did have a BBC recording between, and then Keys to Ascension 2 came to fruition here. Let's see, in 1997. I just want to look at the musicians involved. Okay, same lineup. Perfect. And then this particular track, let's see. Mind Drive. So Anderson, Squire, White, Ho, and Rick all together. So this is a complete composition of all 5 members. Wonderful. And maybe we can read about it here. Studio tracks. So I love that, Steve from Toto had to do with this as well, to oversee the production. Mind Drive was originally a song that was rehearsed by the proposed supergroup XYZ, featuring Squire White and guitarist Jimmy Page. Children of the Light was originally written by John and Vangelis. In the 1986 As Distant Thunder, a demo version was recorded by Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe, which is included as a hidden track on the 2011 reissue Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, Howe. Oh, wow. Okay. The lyrics to the song were printed on the band's 1991 tour book. The original version of Children of the Light included a keyboard introduction written by Wakeman entitled Lightning, but it was removed prior to the album's release. In 1998, Howe said that the production was taking off following the group's overall dissatisfaction with it, an opinion that the record company also shared. Okay, so Mind Drive was originally a song that was rehearsed by the proposed supergroup XYZ. So I guess it says here XYZ were a short-lived English rock supergroup. The name XYZ is taken from X Yes Zeppelin, as the group consisted of ex-Zeppelin guitarist Jimmy Page along with ex-members Chris Squire and Alan White drums. But it's not played by them, I think, because I did want to see here. Okay, so because Patrick wrote to me, Mind Drive taken from the XYZ rehearsals with Jimmy Page. So I don't know. I think so. Jimmy Page is not on this then, you know. I just wanted to make it clear. I don't think he is. But hey, it doesn't really matter. Let's just listen to the music. Let's enjoy. And I hope you're enjoying this, everyone. Thank you. And let's keep going here. 20 minutes. Let's see if I don't have to take a bathroom break. Just kidding. Let's go. That is an intro for me. Rick and Steve working this beautifully. Chris. Rick. Nylon strings always sound so beautiful. Oh, he plays with a pick. Chris. go down.
Don't forget to seek out the world if you want to stake out actions. Speak much louder the words, and you get to realize just as long as you have control, holding the fire, just as long as you keep control. This point of your desire, wait as it will all come to you. Fear there's a future response. You get the heaven you like, you get the heaven, you get the heaven you need, you get to heaven now. Just as long as you bring the power from the inside, just as long as you hold the key from the inside. Ascend and create, ascend and create, ascend and create, ascension.
Perfect. Very great section there. Doodle 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 doodle.
They will bring you rain, they will move the sky, they will give you light, it will live you long. Through the eyes of child, through the song of songs, it will bring the moon, it will transfer you. Wishing for the time to call, dancing on the moon, giving it out. In the night of nights, it will shine for you. With the wings of light, they will make it through. Through the eyes of child and the test of song, it will comfort you. It will make you feel whole. Looking for the chance to call, making the world independently whole. Watching for the place to run, dancing, dancing, move. We will make it right, we will dance for you. On this night of nights, they will make it through. Through the eyes of child and the wish you are, as the thought that comes from the distant star. Whatever thought you have can become a new dream for the perfect stance. Take you there and back again, and you believe you are independently whole. Waiting for the signs, whole. Reaching for the far side show, whole. Dancing for the moon, dancing for the light, whole. Wishing for the mind drive, drive. Dancing for the earth, dancing for the light, whole. Dancing for the light. They will bring the rain, they will make it right. It will transfer you each and every night. With their wings of hope, they will cover you. They will make it right, they will shine for you. With the golden wings, closer surround your soul. It will count for you. It will make you whole. Through the eyes of child and the song of songs, it will make you move. It will transfer you.
There's some really beautiful playing by Steve Howe here. Classical guitar.
And so it comes to this now. When you walk into the bliss that holds down the fire, this pleasure will divide. So close, so let your heart enter. So come and let your heart enter this. So close and let yourself lose control. Heaven help the love that you send. Heaven has the love you send. Watching for the time to call. Dancing in the light, making it right. Dancing, dancing. Oh, waiting for the signs. Oh, reaching for the sight to show. Oh, independently. Oh, pushing for the mind. Try, try. Dancing on the earth, dancing in the lights. They will bring the rain, they will shine the light. Understanding this, it can come tonight. For the love of love and the answers too. It begins with me, it begins with you. Oh, wishing for the time to call, looking for the sign, making it right, dancing, dancing. Oh, waiting for the time to call, dancing in the harmless sun, entering the mind drive.
Back to the beginning.
Don't forget to seek out the world if you want to stake out. Actions speak much louder than words, and you get to realize just as long as you have control, holding the fire, just as long as you get to keep this part of your desire. Wait till it will come to you. Be as a future response. You get the heaven you love. You get to heaven. You get the heaven you need. You get to heaven
Chris is so good. Rick. Wow. Okay, I was like, wow, it's gonna bleed over to the next song. Okay, this was amazing. I would say, I would go as far to say this is one of the better songs I've heard of Yes in general. Maybe I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that, but this was something that I'm more used to when I didn't know Yes. I didn't listen to Genesis. I didn't listen to Rush. This is more of that generation of prog rockers that I listen to. And I want to exclude right off the bat bands like Spock's Beard and Neil Morse and Transatlantic. I did not know these bands. I like them, but for me, it's like prog light. It's like almost like a transition from progressive rock to progressive metal. I really like this as a band. Yes, I think they really went a little bit beyond of what they would usually play. You know, just like I said, you can see the growth in the instrumentation. I mean, they were already virtuosos when they were in their 20s, but here you can see, I think, a little bit more control. Steve Howe's playing was incredibly creative. Like all the modes he applied, a lot of Arabic influence, like Locrian modes, Phrygian modes. I heard that all through, everyone was kind of playing with that whole da 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 da. I can't do it. And then da 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 da. I love how they went back and forth and going up and down, and then I don't know. It was just very cool. I loved the acoustic sections, and I love how they came back. And I also loved everything they were doing, like especially Steve Howe, while they were doing this. I have to hear it again. Da 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 da. It's really an odd time signature, and it's really cool. But I love that they were improvising in between, or just filling it up with music that's interesting to the ear. I love that Steve Howe was playing arpeggios, like these diminished arpeggios. You know, I love that there was a little solo by Rick Wakeman. I love Chris. You know, just Chris playing the bass and over. You know what. Rick was doing when he was playing the chord progressions. John was obviously perfect as always. I think John, I've never really heard a song where I don't like John Anderson's singing. I think he always delivers. He knows exactly what he's doing. And Alan White was phenomenal. I think everyone here just was like this. I have to say, this is one of my favorite longer songs, because it doesn't feel, it never feels chaotic at all. Like not even once. Maybe the last 3 minutes, they applied that early Yes, you know, that I do appreciate, but sometimes is a little bit too much. That's why I prefer Genesis. I don't like that when it goes completely off the rails, because it just loses a little bit of sense to me. I love that they just had something going, like really cool sections. It was structured, but it was still surprising. There were moments that I did not expect, and that's what I want from my progressive rock. You know. And this reminded me more like of the stuff of the bands that I used to listen to before before we did the channel, and I could talk about Shadow Gallery or Enchant or Symphony X, you know, or it kept reminding me of a band called I just don't have them in my mind right now, but give me a second. And I think they're obviously highly influenced by Yes. Wait a second. Let me see if I can catalog. Let's see if you know these guys. Magna Carta is the catalog, and they handle the tribute bands that do Rush tributes. Yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Prague. And there's this one band that reminds me a lot of this, and I remember listening to this, to that. There's Cairo, Dali's Dilemma, in Age of Impact. That was a good band, the Explorers Club. There it is, Magellan. Magellan, that's a band from the 90s that reminded me of this. That's like, I remember when listening to Magellan, I was like, wow, this is really out there. Like, and now listening to this, I was like, yeah, this sounds like definitely something that Magellan was like influenced by. Yes. And they have, they have Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull on the flute. They have Tony Levin of King Crimson and Peter Gabriel on the bass. They have their players. I have to make a little like reaction video to Magellan. They're considered progressive rock and progressive metal. But yeah, this was amazing. I definitely like the second song. This whole like movement, I loved it. Really, really cool. I'm sure Alexia's gonna love this. I wouldn't mind doing it again with her. Just to see her face, to see. I was grabbing my phone to like, should I send it to her? Nah, I mean, I'd want her to be really sitting down and enjoying this. But yeah, this was just wonderful. Like, I don't know why even a fan would not find something interesting in these two songs. And also going back to the other song that I was talking about, I keep forgetting its name. Here we go. Give me a second, because it's such a bizarre name. That is. I think that is was also very interesting. I like these two better, honestly. More structure, more direction, just more surprising. There was a lot of stuff that I enjoyed. As a guitar player, I loved all the, Spanish guitar or classical guitar. I mean, it's like a fine line between nylon, to call it Spanish or classical. I think he was playing classical guitar and also like just classical. It didn't really sound Spanish. And yeah, I think this was great. I mean, everybody was just on their A game. And even though maybe they were not the band they didn't love each other the same way, they were not as enthusiastic, but that doesn't take away from the musicianship. I think the musicianship shows that they've obviously grown and they're still got it and they still had it. And I mean, yes, it's already 30 years ago, this recording. So even though for some people it might be new, it's pretty damn old, so very, very cool. I loved it. I love 70s, yes. I love 80s, yes. And now I'm a fan of 90s, yes, as well. And I've seen them. I saw John Anderson and the Band Geeks in 2024, and I think it was the greatest thing I've ever seen. One of the greatest things I've ever seen. So this music is gonna, continue on, and I think it's a wonderful thing. And thank God we have it on record. These people did something special. And it's never going to be forgotten. I mean, heck, look at behind me. It's right there, literally. And I think that's even keys right there behind me. I could be wrong, but if it is, hey, this was really good. Again, Patrick, thank you so much for making this request and also for, giving me the chance to do it by myself. I really enjoyed. Yes, it's a little bit longer video, but hey, if you enjoyed, that's all we care about. And I'm sure Alexia would have loved this as well. But hey, there's another 40 videos that you can see her in, just reacting to yes. So there's plenty of yes. So again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, everyone. Please leave your comments below. If you hated it, go ahead. But if you loved it, also please let us know. And also if you can thank Patrick for the request, I always appreciate that very, very much. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you all in the next one.